Good morning. The City Commission is meeting in the Clewiston Chambers at City Hall. We have with us Commissioner Rodriguez, Vice Mayor Atkinson, and on the phone Commissioner McGahee. And I believe that Commissioner Peterson will also be joining us. Public participation will be allowed in person and via telephone conference call. We're hosting this meeting on City's Facebook page at www.facebook.com/City of Clewiston and the City's website at clewiston-fl.gov/meetings. Public comments were not received before the meeting to the City Clerk. And we do have a phone line, 863-254-4038, conference ID number 994729. At the time any agenda item is being considered, we will invite for public comment. Be advised that the Commission may take actions on items not listed on this agenda. If this occurs, public comments will be received at the time. We just ask that you state your name for the record. Pursuant to Executive Order Number 2069, 2112, 2123, 2139, 2150, 2179, 2193, and 2246, municipalities may conduct meetings of their governing boards without having a quorum of members present physically or at a specific governing board, or they conduct meetings of their government without having a quorum of its members. We do have a quorum today, and we can use technology such as telephonic or video conferencing as provided by Section 120.545B2 of the Florida statute. So at this time, please join me in the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty for all. Are there any changes or deletions to the agenda? Okay. We have public comments at this time. Is there any public comments? Okay. Well, is there anybody on the line other than commissioners and attorneys? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So no public comments at this time. We do have one item before us. Resolution number 2020-75. Resolution number 2020-75 approves the revised interlocal agreement between Hendry County and the City of Clewiston for CARES Act funding. Hendry County has requested a modification to the agreement previously approved by the Commission on August 24th, 2020 to comply with federal and state guidelines. Mr. Martin?
Thank you, Chair, and Mr. President on the phone. I do appreciate your indulgence allowing me to call business to complete this process before the 5th of October. As stipulated by the county and updated job. Before you tonight is today is a modified agreement. You see copies of revised interlocal agreement. Two copies of August 24th approved agreement version. Got a highlighted version that indicates what the moves are. The city attorney has had this information electronically. Other documents received is an email that I sent to the county administrator earlier this month, indicating that there was information in our request for the first. Subsequent to the action take today, the city will be filing, staff will filing, and put together a request for reimbursement for all of the stated by the county and the need for this was prompted in much great part by further discussion the county had made, further guidance to state and federal agencies, which delayed the time. Unfortunate that it has As for the city, the updated guidance received allows for a less burdensome process. I think in terms of authorizing the new burden care those extended. As I stated, finance department work to prepare the necessary documents based upon the updated guidance and utilizing public safety elements intended to be incurred or which will be incurred in the eligibility period runs from March 1st, 2020 to December 31st. These expenditures will more than cover the full amount of county updated allocation set aside for the city of $890,000. On behalf of the city, I further communicated that the reflection of this updated agreement, the city's desire to be included in the additional dollars of funding available from this cares. For the purpose and need for subsequent call meeting of the commission, the county has the state input modified the previously authorized agreement to include additional compliance language that for the most part was either referenced the previous agreement or included in the carrier agreement with the state of the county commission. Receive copies of the county executed documents, including stated changes of documents. Exhibit A. In addition to the compliance language update, revised agreement changes the reporting deadline for the Exhibit B, Exhibit B, that commit $890,000 county approved. There are no other changes to Exhibit A or the previous Exhibit B. Now Exhibit B. I'll let the city attorney communicate his review based on my discussion with him, but his opinion that this rose to the level that the entire commission would protect the city that approve the revised agreement called. I concur with his opinion, recommend that approve the revised document. Again, the timing is driven by their desire. I do not want us further delays reimbursement of this expedition possible going into November. We're prepared to submit that today. I'll be glad to answer any specific questions, but I think that I'll prefer to leave it to Arden.
Gary?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
As you can see from the strike through and underlining, there were significant changes to the prior agreement that the commission signed. Of course, any change to an agreement the commission signs has to be approved by the commission. Consequently, that's why you've been called into today's meeting to take a look at this. If you take a look at the proposal for which the city is obtaining reimbursement, and then you look at all the new language in the contract, the new language mostly applies to contractors in the event the city is buying goods or hiring a contractor to do certain work. So although there are a lot of changes, the vast majority of those changes will not apply to your request for reimbursement. Additionally, of the changes that there are in there, I've noticed that there may be an additional audit requirement for the city as the funds exceed $750,000. I mentioned this to Mr. Martin, and he believes that your current audit contract can take care of that if it's necessary in the long run. So those are the only comments I have on this.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. Yes, sir.
Just one other thing. I've also reviewed the guidance. And if you look at the language in this contract, and you take it for face value, one might think there are issues with this reimbursement. However, if you look at the guidance, which is an interpretation of how the state and I believe the federal government is going to apply this language, it would seem that the items that you are requesting reimbursement for fall in those categories. The issue is whether or not the costs you submitted are items that have been substantially changed in their direction from what was in your initial budget to what had to be accomplished during the pandemic. I believe that summarizes that question. I think the more important point is that if you don't apply and you don't follow these guidelines, you have no chance of getting reimbursed at all. And if the guidance turns out to be correct and their interpretation is consistent with what Mr. Martin has heard from all the individuals involved in this, then you may have a very substantial likelihood of obtaining reimbursement. But I think that's the way you should look at this. This is an opportunity to obtain reimbursement, but not a guarantee that you're going to get these funds. So it's important as you move forward with budgeting and spending that none of these funds are spent until you actually have these monies in your bank account. You cannot rely, in other words, at least I wouldn't, advise you to rely on the fact that you're going to get this money. And you shouldn't spend it until you have it in the bank, is bottom line.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure that the finance director and the city manager have gone over that as well.
Yes, and we have not obligated to this point for that very reason. But the previous was that's one of the reasons that the idea of the kind of document today, they put as I believe it's already for our September was calculated at 778,000.
The county has received what percentage amount of what they've requested?
They've received 45% of the balance of the additional 59 reimbursed state. Therefore, I want to get our request soon as possible. Otherwise,
As a city, we, even though we've been going through the pandemic since March, we've not received 1 cent of CARES Act funding to this day. Okay. Are there any questions from the commission in regards to resolution number 2020-75 and the reason why we're here today?
So we're clear, we're clear, Randy, that none of that money would get spent until, like Gary said, it's in our bank account.
that's correct.
Okay. And can we get, I think I've asked for it before, but I don't know that I've seen it, and if you have given it, but can we get a breakdown of what the county is allocating the rest of the money for?
I have requested that and I have not received it. I think those numbers have been flubbed. I will reiterate that request for that.
And just, it's a formal request from the city of Clewiston, because I know that I've asked you for it as well. I just would like to see, especially for our business community, who's been able to access the funding as well.
Now, I will say that they have not seen private sector as the mayor just referenced. I think set aside they've been allocated out those dollars, but they still have to where. I will ask for that information as well as public sector. I have had some feedback from some of the state public sector, how much they get, but I don't have it. But I will.
Mr. McGahey, did you have any more questions or comments? Okay. Public comment? Okay. Is there anybody else on the line other than the attorney and Mr. McGahey? Okay. All right. So I don't see any public comments at this time. If the commission doesn't have any additional questions, I'll read the resolution by title. It's resolution number 2020-75, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Clewiston, Florida, approving a revised interlocal agreement between Hendry County and the City of Clewiston for CARES Act funding. The recommendation, as mentioned, was to approve, and that we will wait for the funding to come in from the county via the state, from the state via the county for any expenditures. I have a motion from the Vice Mayor, a second from Commissioner Rodriguez. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I believe that if there's any comments from the city attorney, additional comments?
No, Mayor.
Okay. City manager, is there anything that you would like to? Okay. Any of the commission? Mr. McGahey? No. Okay. All right. Well, I hope to see everybody the parade today at 2 o'clock. I know that there's going to be the judging will take place here at City Hall. So go Tigers. And with that, I'll accept the, yes, sir.
We're having Halloween drive.